corresponds to this right
Oh,
here is on YouTube, but I made it private because, like I said before,
Invites trouble.
prior to a lot of this stuff, I did a whole lot of DJing, and it really makes an artist look bad when they have a bunch of negative stuff on their thing, such as things that would give away a little too much. Like, you don't want to be a musician that says he lives in HUD,
Oh, I know.
let alone he lives in HUD and he's got this old dude who's lying on camera or in a video who doesn't appear to be doing anything, but then to find out, if you read the description, this video actually, you know, depicts him opening a door to the laundry room, and he's, why am I being filmed? And all you hear is me, I just want my laundry. I have nothing, you know, just, and that's it. Now I can get you guys a copy of it, but unfortunately, due to HUD's messing around, I had to buy one of those little portable hard drives. So I have to dig through a bunch of terabytes.
Well, Nick, I guess my question would be, what would you like VR to be able to help you with? Because we can't just move you without employment. We've got to find you a job down in Portland before we can be justified in relocating you.
Well, like I said with her, is I've checked into the whole thing. I checked into the whole thing. Now,
Congratulations.
I've started trying to fill out the whole page, because you have to start a profile on the whole HCW thing, where you have to click on the Serious People with Disabilities part link, and so you know you have to pick 3 counties and all that stuff. What it seems like, and
to work in.
Yeah, to work in.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
and so from what I've been able to gather with these 3 counties is because what I'm looking to do is be on the western side, you know, and it seems like there's a lot, and
well, I think what there is over there is a lot more.
it's not just a lot more of everything; it's a lot more of just everything, you know.
And a lot more African American clients to work with.
Well,
That's going to be a challenge.
It's not the race of the people, and it's not just the people itself. It's everything. There's roads and area, so you have to be able to consider.
But if you're going to do caregiving,
it's not. Yeah, I have to be able to consider everything, and as I was saying, Fran, is the location itself is a bit bigger than that. So to be able to actually be able to put in for a job down there.
Well, short of you moving on your own, we've got to find you a job first. We've got to look online, find some job applications, and I'm wondering if Marianne at the employment office has any ideas about where we could start doing some online applications for you down there.
What, for the home care worker thing?
Well, yeah, or just given all that computer work that you just completed.
Well, I'm going to do the home care worker thing because I just got my provider number, and I actually have the whole union stuff that actually pays a bunch. So there's no need to put
So if you had an interview down there.
Well, it's not just an interview down there, because to even pay to go down there costs a bunch.
Yeah.
And to even work down there costs a bunch.
And then you gotta look for housing.
And to meet with somebody, let alone to meet with someone that's disabled, you know, it's not like going to, you know, DHS or McDonald's or a Walmart where you can just road trip down there the night before. You know, in some cases.
Yeah, you gotta get the lay of the land.
Sometimes you gotta be
there.
there.
Did they say they'll transfer you? Did you guys get to that while I was out of the room? Will they transfer your HUD voucher down there if you can find employment in the area?
I don't know. Maybe you should call them.
So you don't know the answer to that yet? Yeah. So
see, the thing is with HUD is HUD's operated with a lot of double talk and a lot of they're not going to do jack shit.
Wait lists.
No, it's not wait lists.
Well, it might be if you're relocating to Portland. They might say, yeah, you'd be eligible to relocate from Portland, but
no, not really.
then you got to wait for an open voucher down there or something.
No. See, that's just high hopes and spooky superstition right there talking.
Yeah,
operating in the real world where I'm at, see HUD try to face down the idea of, well, Nick got a stocking thing and they didn't do jack shit, so HUD's not doing anything, you know. I mean, realistically, I got stalked by this tenant, got stalked by that tenant, and they're not doing jack shit. So unless you plan on calling HUD and talking with them about realistically they do have the power to do anything.
Yeah, we can check that out.
I mean,
that can be
personally, HUD has the power to court me right now, and you could probably tell them to do it. And you could probably give them 2 paragraphs as to why they should do it, and probably tell them to do it now. But as to why...
But is it also just giving in to the pressures that they're putting on you?
No. See, the thing is when I talk to them about when I talk to them about the pressures of it all is this: if I were to be evicted, one, through the whole discrimination that I'm facing is I'm no one's bitch, and I'm not going to be treated as someone's bitch or their slave, because it's unfair, and so far I've been treated like that. You know, to look at it and say that the cops have been to my house and say that I'm not breaking any rules, I'm not doing anything wrong. I've talked to HUD and I've looked at HUD and go, your staff are basically sneaking around here like ninjas. I don't know when you're here. I live at the back of the building, and yet you people are here all the time. You have all these open apartments in which you're either cleaning them or repairing them. I don't know when you're here, but apparently you're here and you're standing either outside my apartment or next door. But then you come and tell me about how you had to put your head to the wall and you could barely hear anything over the lady talking to you and telling you how much you can hear stuff. And yet, you know, with the whole, if you don't like it, pack your shit and move. Now, if I were to just up and move, imagine what these people are going to do to the next person that moves in. How much of an ego they're going to have. Now, let's say you guys were to help me move, but we were to do it really quick all of a sudden. They're going to do even worse to the next person that moves. But here in the next few months, if you were to help me move, you know, we keep it natural. You know?
Because this is what you've been doing for 2 months. Since the last time we saw you, you've been dealing with all this, huh?
I've been dealing with this for more than 2 months. I've been dealing with this apparently since I've been dealing with this since I moved in apparently 2012. I didn't know it was 2012. I've been that busy. And so, like I said before, when it comes down to doing the whole home care worker thing,
this is for HUD, so she can call HUD.
When it comes down to doing the whole home care worker thing, from the online form, not application, but the way I've seen it set up, where you have to choose the areas you can work in, where you can start work in. It seems like you already have to be there in order to be, available to work. So
or to do interviews,
yeah, the moment someone calls you, the moment one of these patients, calls you, to work, it's not like, oh, you meet with them and, you have an interview, everything goes all right, you start next week. How am I going to start next week if I'm in La Grande? Right. If you start next week, oh, I can be here in 30 days from La Grande. It seems like I need to be there already. So, but to look at it and go, but there's already an issue. I have HUD to deal with. And not only do I have HUD to deal with, I have these tenants to deal with. And with the issues of HUD and these tenants to deal with, I don't really care how HUD is left, because HUD left me with a bunch of shit. I got a bunch of files here I shouldn't have. If HUD knew that these tenants were this unstable, I shouldn't have been placed there in the first place.
So can I interrupt for a minute, because I just want clarity in my own head. So what I heard Susan say, Nick, was that you would have to have a job before we were able to move you to help you move if HUD was willing to.
Yeah.
Is that what I heard?
Absolutely.
And I'm looking at it going, but if I'm to do this home care worker job, which the way it's set up, you kind of have to, be there, but to even have the job, you have to attend this class, which is basically the orientation to have the job, which is basically whatever the hell it is.
I didn't read that. Is there a class you got to go to next?
No, I've already went to the class. I already have the job. Okay. Yeah, that's why I have the provider number. In order to be a home care worker, you have to attend the class. So once you've attended the class, you get your provider number. Therefore, you have a job. Now that you've done your background check, you get your provider number. Now you are cleared.
Do you have any family or friends in Portland?
If I had family or friends, why would I have all of this paperwork in front of me plus this thing? I mean, come on.
Well, I'm just thinking, if you get an interview in Portland, and we send you down for an interview, I was wondering about, do you have a place to stay down there with family or friends?
I got a tent, and I got these 2 dogs that I sometimes refer to
but
as
I'm
daughters.
we're not gonna support you moving to Portland and becoming one of the hundreds of homeless people.
Why would I move to Portland to become homeless when I moved to Portland when I would live in an apartment or a house?
Exactly.
And I'm going to work.
But I'm just talking about job interview.
Oh no, doing a job interview, I would either get there the night before or that morning. It's a job interview, not moving there. If I was moving there.
And you have dependable transportation? You've got a good car that'll get you there?
Yeah, I drove there. I would drive there. But that's the thing. If I had to go for an interview, then I would just, be there long enough to be there.
And do you want to start doing job search down there?
Yeah, that's why, how come I know about this program? That's how come I'm telling you.
And what 3 counties did you put down? Did you put down Multnomah, Washington,
Clackamas, and
Washington?
No.
Washington County. There's a county down there.
Yeah, I know whatever Tigard is. Tigard and all that. Tigard or whatever. Yeah, that's Washington. Okay, yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Washington.
I think it is Washington.
I'm thinking Washington State.
Okay.
And Multnomah, is that what the 3rd one was? Clackamas, Washington.
I'm sorry. I have the Oregon map, so
but those 3
I put down.
Yeah, but it is.
Okay, so Portland's all up right here. I think Lake Oswego, Riverdale, Tigard, Hillsborough.
It's Washington County.
Yeah, I clicked
so
on it.
So you must have done Multnomah, Washington, and Clackamas County.
Yeah.
That 3 county area right there.
Yeah. And I mean.
Do you have your CNA card? Have you ever been a CNA?
No, in order to take that class, you have to work, in order to take additional modules, you have to work 3 hours. You have to have 3 hours
of experience
on your HCW before you can take, you have to have 3 hours on your HCW before you get paid for the class. I'm not sure if you have to pay for the class.
Oh, I see.
Now, as far as having to pay for the class, but as far as taking the class, it's down there in Portland anyways.
Well, a CNA stands for Certified Nurse's Assistant.
I know that.
And sometimes that can be a really good enhancement to personal caregiver.
I know. I've thought about all of those modules. When I found out about this, you got that message?
Yeah, it's in the other room. Do you want me to go get it so I can show Susan?
Yeah, you should show her so that way she can smile about it like I did, and then you'll understand.
And then I got about 5 minutes, Fran, and I gotta hit the road. So.
I need to just clarify, Nick, what we said about if you get a job interview on the western side of the state, what are we going to do about that?
Yeah, and what about the whole, how this whole program proceeds? Because like I said, I've seen a lot of these HCWs over here do it, and usually when they, home care worker, when they meet with a patient, usually they start, so they usually have to be there already. And with this area, with the traffic and everything, you have to be there. I mean, you have to travel in, like in La Grande, you guys only have to go like 5 minutes and you're there. In Portland, you have to leave 2 or 3 hours just to go.
Yeah, it depends on where the interview is.
Exactly. Exactly. And already we're talking about a dude.
A lot of these people know who they want to apply to be a caregiver for ahead of time. You're in a unique situation because you're going to be you're going to be kind of building capacity down there. And so I don't know the answer, I guess. It's the quick answer. I don't know if you could say in an interview, I need 30 days to relocate down here and then I'm available.
Well, that's the thing, because I don't want to have to say that, because if I say that, then I don't have the job instantly, and that's going to cost me employment, and that's going to trap me here, and I don't want to be trapped here any longer, because I've been trapped here already, and that's really stressing me out.
So what I'm hearing you say, Nick, is that you want VR to help you move before you get a job, so that you'll already be in.
We don't do that.
That's not what I'm saying. Okay. Because like I said before, I've already technically got a job And like I said, I've already attended the orientation. I've already went through the background check because, like you said, you got the provider number, and
you've passed the clearance.
And I passed the clearance for everything.
You're eligible to apply.
Even though it says this does not guarantee employment right there, but technically this is everything right here.
You're eligible to apply.
Yeah, this is everything you need to apply. And everything that you would say is based on this job is correct. How does a person obtain this job? You do have to be there, present at the location to obtain the job. You know, to work with these to work with these people, to apply with these people, you have to be at location. You cannot ask me to go apply at McDonald's just to live in the area, or turn around and go, I'm quitting here at McDonald's because I'm secretly a home care worker. That's going to cause a lot of confusion. Not to mention,
my suggestion would be that we look at two things. That we look at a CNA endorsement for him and see if he can get through that coursework. I don't know if that coursework is here locally for him, but that would be an enhancement. So when he's applying for personal care worker, he also had a CNA endorsement.
Also, what's today's date?
28th.
Thank you. Stuck on this meeting being on the 17th.
And would that be here in this area, or would it be in the western side of the state?
Where I don't know how do you send other people for that coursework?
I haven't done it yet, so.
Okay, so you'll have to do some
Probably.
research on that.
I only know how to do it. I only know how to do it in California. The last time my foster mother was an HIV/AIDS tester.
I think Blue Mountain Community College provides that training, but you have to look into that training if he's.
Would you be willing to stay longer?
Here's the problem. Here's the problem.
I do not want to stay in Eastern Oregon.
Here's the problem for Nick is that
there's too much. There's entirely too much.
He's eligible based on his back injury. He doesn't want us to look at sort of all the trauma he's experienced as a factor, unless we. I mean, that would be kind of where the mental health stuff came into it. And you've asked us to set that mental health information aside and just look at your disability around back.
When
they
as far
look
as
at this and they realize, okay, he's working with vocational rehabilitation, they're going to ask us, what's he eligible based on?
Yeah, but when you're asking about mental health,
right, we're going to say he's eligible because he has a bad back and he's got a bad knee, and that's going to be the tricky part as he applies for a personal care worker.